said, for me, it's very important to, once you hit the ground running, even if you're doing it quietly.
I know. Nothing's changed except for everything.
You know what, I think what's going to be so interesting about it is when you have a couple, any relationship in a...
Okay, imagine this for a second. What if Meghan Markle's biggest secret isn't about tiaras, tabloids, or all that royal drama we've all heard a million times? What if it's something way more personal, something that's been hiding in plain sight all along? Yeah, whispers are starting to swirl around like wildfire, a hidden chapter buried deep from way before the spotlight even knew her name. We're talking about an alleged teenage Vegas marriage, a daughter named Nell who's never once been mentioned, and a timeline so tucked away that it makes you wonder what else got left behind on her climb to that royal crown. And guess who might have all the tea? Her ex-husband Trevor, the one person who was there before all the fairy tale filters kicked in.
Chicago, 1994. Before the royal titles, before the cameras, before the world ever heard the name Meghan.
He stayed quiet for years, turning down jaw-dropping offers of millions just to tell his story. Silence. But those whispers, they're not dying down. They're getting louder. So here we are, digging into the things people aren't talking about, flipping through that missing chapter like a book someone tried to rip a few pages out of. What if this perfect fairy tale has a secret prologue?
For 10 long years, Trevor Engelson, Meghan Markle's ex-husband, said nothing. No interviews.
Let's rewind a bit and talk about Trevor Engelson. If that name doesn't instantly ring a bell, let me catch you up real quick.
Anywhere in sight. No. Harry is, as you say, he's clearly been.
Trevor's not just some random guy, he's a Hollywood producer. But more importantly, he was Meghan's husband way before Prince Harry ever came into the picture. This was the guy who saw the real Meghan. Not the Duchess, not the actress on magazine covers, but the day-to-day Meghan. The version that nobody else got to see. And their breakup? Oh, it wasn't some soft, we can still be friends kind of thing. The story goes, Meghan literally mailed his engagement ring back. Yeah, mailed it. Like returning a sweater that didn't fit. Packed it up and sent it back. Cold. But Trevor isn't just another ex.
Okay, I have had some folks ask me my thoughts around Prince Andrew and the titles.
He was there before everything changed, before the reinvention, the royal wedding, the global image makeover. He had a front row seat to the entire transformation. He knows the kind of unfiltered stuff that never makes it into glossy interviews or palace statements. And then came the spark. Megyn Kelly dropped a bombshell on her show. She claimed the information came straight from Trevor's circle. Not tabloid nonsense, actual insider whispers. The claim?
After nearly 3 decades of silence, rumors are swirling that Joe Giuliano, the man once believed to be
Meghan allegedly had a vision board with Prince Harry's face on it before they'd even met. Not just a wouldn't that be nice kind of thing. A whole board. A plan. Someone close to Trevor supposedly saw it during their marriage. Think about that. Vision boards aren't just about daydreaming. They're about mapping out a goal. If that's true, then this royal love story everyone fawned over, it might have been planned from day one. Calculated, not spontaneous. And Trevor? He knows it all.
Trevor, who had remained in the shadows for nearly a decade, realized he had been recast in her story, not just erased.
But here's what's wild. Trevor never spoke up. Publishers came knocking with million-dollar deals. Media platforms begging for the ex-husband exclusive. The world wanted the man who got dumped by mail to spill everything about how his ex became a duchess, and he said no, every time. That kind of silence, that's not just about being classy. It's power. So where are these whispers about a hidden past really coming from?
Wrote to the producers, bemusement, Meghan was keen to set up her permanent home in Toronto rather than commute like all the other actors.
A name keeps popping up in hushed conversations. Joe Giuliano. He's not famous, not in the industry, just a regular guy. But according to the rumors, he was Meghan's first husband. Yep, first. When she was just 18. The story goes, they ran off to a little Vegas chapel, signed the papers, exchanged vows, and walked out married. No fanfare, no press, just 2 teens making a quick decision in a city built for quick decisions.
And from the beginning, she denied being interested in the royal family, which she totally was. I know someone who knows the ex-husband who said...
Come on, it's Vegas. This kind of thing happens all the time. People get married on a whim in chapels with neon lights and Elvis impersonators. But what happened after? That's what really turns heads. The marriage didn't last. It got annulled in Nevada. And annulments? That's different from divorce.
Meghan Markle petrified ex-husband Trevor Engelson. Will pen explosive book Meghan Markle was married.
Annulment means legally the marriage never happened. Hit reset, clean slate. Those records disappear deep into the system, and people get annulments for all kinds of reasons. Young age, rushing in, wanting to move forward without baggage. But here's where eyebrows shoot up. It wasn't just about erasing a teenage mistake.
and all those horrible lies and all those nasty...
The Duchess, who built her brand on preaching authenticity.
The timing and the thoroughness of it raise questions. When someone goes that far to erase something completely, people start wondering what else is being hidden. Some claim this annulment was tied to a baby girl named Noel, allegedly born in 1995, who became part of the Giuliano family.
At first, they thought it was just youthful dreaming, but soon they realized it wasn't a dream, it was a mission. Meghan was...
No adoption papers, no foster system, just quietly raised in that family circle while Meghan moved forward. No mentions, no old baby photos resurfacing, nothing. A name whispered in corners and a timeline that, when you start connecting the dots, makes you pause and look twice. And this leads us straight to Meghan's so-called gap year. Her official story says there's a year between high school and Northwestern University. Self-discovery. Traveling through Europe. You know, those dreamy, Instagram-perfect gap year vibes, but no real details. Nobody really questioned it until now. People who claim they were around back then say she wasn't hopping around Europe at all. She was in Chicago, staying quiet, staying hidden. And the family she was allegedly with? The Giulianos, the same people tied to Joe. That Vegas chapel story, why hide a gap year unless there's something to keep low, and the timeline, it fits right around when Noel would have been a baby. This isn't a backpacking trip. This is someone laying low. Imagine being that child, growing up in one family's care while your biological mother's face is everywhere. On TV, magazines, giving speeches about being a mom. And your name? Never mentioned. Not once. She's praised as a hands-on modern mom, while you're invisible. That would mess with anyone's head, watching your own mother raise other kids while pretending you don't exist. It's like two parallel lives running side by side but never intersecting. And if Noel really was born in 1995, she'd be almost 30 now, a grown woman. And here's the plot twist. Whispers say she's a mother herself now, which would make Meghan Markle a grandmother at 44. While the world watches her push the modern mom narrative with Archie and Lilibet, there could be another branch of her family tree completely hidden. If that's true, then we're talking about two realities here. One polished, celebrated, and public. The other tucked away like it never existed. The quiet can be louder than any tell-all book. The whispers say Trevor still has pieces of that past. Messages, photos, little fragments from a life before the reinvention. Stuff you can't just dismiss as hearsay. He's not bitter, according to people who know him now. He's moved on. He's built his life, his family, his career. But those years, he's got the full picture. And the people who have the full picture are the ones who hold the kind of truth that doesn't need a microphone. And Trevor isn't the only one. There were other people around back then. People from Meghan's Chicago years, people connected to the Giuliano family. These aren't random gossip-chasing strangers. These are the kind of quiet, ordinary people who don't seek attention. They were just there, and they remember. They remember seeing a little girl at Sunday dinners, at family gatherings. She wasn't publicly introduced. She didn't need to be. She was just part of the family, a child with striking similarities to Meghan. The same features, same smile, that bone structure that makes people do a double take. You know those moments when you look at someone and just know they're related? That's what people who were there say they saw. And here's the thing. You can erase photos, you can seal records, you can rewrite timelines, but you can't erase genetics. You can't erase the people who remember. And as time passes, those memories only get louder. What once was just whispered between a few people starts spreading. Because secrets like this, they never stay buried forever, especially not when so many people were there to witness little moments, the kind that stick with you even decades later. A smile, a presence, a child who looks like someone the whole world now knows. Then comes the kicker. The age timeline. On paper, Meghan's birth year is 1981. That's what everyone believes. That's what's everywhere. But dig deeper, and some old school records, some people who knew her growing up whisper something different, 1977. And if that's true, then suddenly all those rumors line up. If she was born in 1977, then in 1995, she wouldn't have been 14. She would have been 18. And an 18-year-old getting married in Vegas and having a baby? That's not wild. That's actually pretty believable. Everything. The Vegas wedding, the annulment, the gap year, it all clicks, like the missing puzzle pieces just slid perfectly into place. Developing today. Did Buckingham Palace or Prince William set a trap? And that gap year she talks about so vaguely? It suddenly makes sense. If you were 18 with a newborn, you wouldn't be trekking through Europe carefree. You'd be somewhere quiet, somewhere hidden, like Chicago. And when that year ends, what happens? You move on. You start fresh. A new city, a new school, a new identity. Northwestern becomes the launch pad for a whole new version of yourself. One where there's no Joe Giuliano, no Vegas wedding, no Noel, just Meghan. Actress, activist, future duchess. That's the thing about reinvention. The bigger it is, the more carefully crafted it has to be. And this one, if the whispers are true, it was crafted down to the tiniest detail. So, fast forward to today. Trevor Engelson, Joe Giuliano, a sealed annulment, a hidden gap year, a daughter, possibly a grandchild, and a birth year that might not be what we all thought, all these puzzle pieces scattered for years. But when you line them up, the story looks very different, and it's not just tabloids throwing things at the wall hoping something sticks. These are whispers from people who were actually there. People who saw things firsthand, who lived through the years before Meghan Markle became a duchess. Trevor's circle, the Giuliano family, old classmates, Chicago neighbors, people with nothing to sell. Just a version of the story that doesn't match the one the world was fed. Because at the end of the day, this isn't just about a rumor, it's about identity, reinvention, erasure. How much of your past can you actually bury before it stops being reinvention and starts being rewriting? What happens to the people who get left behind in those chapters that don't fit the new narrative? If Noel really is out there watching this perfect public image of a mother she's never been acknowledged by, that's not just some secret. That's a whole life that was never included. A chapter that was ripped out so cleanly, most people never even realized it existed.